Hi folks, John from Designed Elegance Pastry Shop here. I'm here to show you how to put together some cakes, and we will put the cakes together, we'll stack them with fillings, and then we'll get them ready to ice, and then eventually decorate. So, we got a couple of cakes to do. We got a white cake and a chocolate cake, and I guess we'll get started with the white cake. Alright, so I've got a couple of layers that are already baked and ready to go. What I'm going to do is just pop one out, give it a little shake out of the pan, pull the paper off the bottom, put it on the cardboard, turn it over, and now I've got it on my spinning turntable. Anyone can get one of these spinning turntables at a local cake decorator store. If you're just a weekend warrior and you're not really ready to spend money on this, then I would recommend that you get a small Lazy Susan for your, like you would use for your cooking. So what I'm going to do is I put the icing in the bag. I'm just going to squeeze out the excess, and now I have no air bubble. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit around the edge here, like so. Now I'm going to smooth this out, just like that. And this one we're going to put some raspberry in. So we'll put the raspberry in, spread it out, keep it nice and even. And there we go. And this is a basically whipped cream, heavy whipped cream, with some of the raspberry added to it, which makes a nice delicious cream so that it's not all very, very sweet. Okay. Now, we have both layers on, and we'll put the top tier on. Right on top, let it drop right out of the pan. Make sure it's even. I'm looking at the top corner, lining up with the bottom corner. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I want to fill this area in right here. And now I'm going to push up, push in and up. And that makes sure that there are no air pockets inside the cake. Like so. And now just make sure that it's in place. And I'm going to spread it like so. We don't need to worry about the crumbs in the cake because it's all going to be covered up. Put a little more icing on just for good measure. And we'll smooth this out. Now, there are many purposes to this. Main purpose. All of the filling is now inside the cake. When I go to ice the cake in a few minutes, I'm not going to worry about the filling spilling out. Now that I have all this icing on the side, we call this the Band-Aid. So now the Band-Aid is on. The layers are going to be secure. When I chill this, it will become solid. So now I'm going to put it in the fridge. While that's chilling, I'm going to do my chocolate cake. And it's basically the same method. I baked these cakes earlier today, so they'd be nice and chilled for today, for this evening. Give it a little shake. See this paper? This protects the bottom of the cake. And then it helps pop out of the pan real easy. Put the cardboard on. And here we go. Same method. Start with the band. Whoop. Doesn't need to be neat. This is the inside of the cake. And this needs fudge. fudge is always good in chocolate. So we'll put some fudge on there. We'll put more fudge on there, because everybody likes fudge.
No such thing as too much, right?
Now when it comes to chocolate fudge, especially in chocolate cake,
Oh, yeah.
it just makes for a taller cake the more you put in, that's all. So we'll put a little more in, I think, because everybody likes chocolate, like I said. There, we'll just get a little bit up on top there. Okay, now this one, see, this fudge is very loose. Notice it was almost saucy as I was putting it on. So rather than putting my cake on top right now, I think that I'd like to put another layer of icing around the edge, just simply because I'm afraid that if I put that cake on top, it's going to squirt that chocolate right out. So let's just add another layer right now. And then, of course, we want to smooth it out. And there we be. Now we're ready for this other cake layer. Shake it, shake it. Make sure it's loose, and then let it pop right out. Again, I'm going to line up the top corner with the bottom corner, just with my eye. Okay, that looks good. Now we'll add a little more icing. And then again with the Band-Aid here. We want to make sure that all the air pockets are out from inside the cake. Now we want to work slow with this. You don't want to try and do it all at once because then you just make a mess. So it looks like I need just a little bit more icing in my bag. Again, I'm going to drop this down and give it a squeeze. I actually call that burping the bag. So we want to burp the bag, make sure there's no air pockets in the bag, and then finish off with this last little strip right here. It's a lot easier to make small motions and go over it a few times than it is to try and do it all at once. And here we go. We're nice and smooth, we're square, we're even, and now we're ready for the cooler so that it can set properly.
Hey folks, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. It really helps us out.
So we want to ice that first cake that we did, the white one with the raspberry, and I'm just going to give my icing a quick fluff here while I'm going to the cooler. So pardon the noise, but it is a necessary evil. Let that go. Okay, that only takes a moment. Okay, so we have our icing fluffed. We have the cake right on the turntable. Notice how solid it is now. See, I can actually tap the side of it and it would be solid. So, very, very important. Pull this paper off. In one of the future lessons, I will be going over the finer points of baking perfect cakes. This is going to be a very, very important detail. So.
And what kind of paper is that, John?
It's regular parchment paper.
Parchment, okay.
Yes, thank you for asking.
No problem, just trying to help the people at home.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to put on the icing, and we're going to start with just a little bit more than we need. And the reason for that is I do not want to have to go back to the bowl after I have been after I've been spreading the icing. Number one, if you have thin spots, you're probably going to have crumbs on your spatula, and then when you go back into the bowl, that's not good. Also, you're going to have fault lines. whenever you're bringing icing here and here together, you're going to have a foam. So what I like to do is try and put all the icing on at once and then work it across and down, and then the excess will be smoothed off, and that will be it. So let's go. First I start with the top. Notice how I'm not trying to spread it all at once. It's just a little at a time. Now I'm going to work this down the side with just the very tip of my spatula. Notice I'm only using the top inch or two. I'm taking the thicker spots and I'm smoothing them to where the thinner spots are.
So that way you're kind of filling it in?
Yes.
Nice.
See, that way it's still all one. See, now it's going to come together right here. And then that's the only spot where it actually came together. It was all one and it came down. So now we want to check our thickness on top. Now I'm pretty thick on top. I can feel the cake down underneath. So we're just going to take a little bit off the top, like so. Remember, it's just a very gentle touch. You don't need much pressure. And now I'm going to take my slicker and I'm going to just mark my center here. And what I'm going to do is angle this down, like so. And then I'm going to put the slicker on the side of the cake, and without very much pressure at all, I'm just going to spin the cake with the slicker on the side. See?
Beautiful.
Smooth finish on the side. And with the slicker we can clean up the bottom a little bit. And now, not that we even need to, but we can always just come back and just gently hit this top corner here. Usually it's a little more exaggerated. I guess I didn't put too much icing on.
Okay.
And
So delicate pressure then, I take it.
Very, very delicate, very light touch.
Okay.
Barely at all. And now, and basically what it does is it rounds the corner. And now I'm just going to very gently set the top of the spatula on just to smooth it out like so. And here we go. This cake is ready to chill so that it can then be decorated. First, before I do that, I want to just clean up the board a little bit. Remember, folks, when icing is nice and warm and soft, it's easy to move. Once it gets cold and firm, it's difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Scrubbing. So, while that one's chilling, we'll do the chocolate one. Don't forget to peel the paper. Very, very important. We'll give the icing a quick fluff again.
Now, would this technique be the same for any other type of frosting? Like chocolate or other flavors?
As long as it's solid, as long as it's firm. If it's grippy, as if it were a glaze, then no, because it's not going to hold. But anything that's fluffed and has body, yes, this is the best way to do it. And okay, so thank you for asking, actually, because I would like to explain that, like I said, the softer the icing, the easier it is to manipulate. That being said, if you were to take, say you were to go to the grocery store and buy a little tub of icing to, over the cake, you would want to stir that very, very well. If you open that and then try and scoop out of it and put it on the cake,
Too thick?
it's going to be too thick. It's going to pull your cake all apart, and you're not going to be able to spread it without getting crumbs everywhere. So what I would recommend is you pull that out, use your little beater at home, whip some air into it, fluff it up, make it nice and soft, and then ice your cake with it. It should be fine. Okay, so remember, same idea as before, a little at a time. Doesn't have to all be done at once. See how I bring it over the top, down the sides. Basically, I want to just bring down across the sides as much as it's going to take to ice the cake. You don't really want excess on the side. Okay. So we've got icing all over. It's all covered.
Okay, I'm gonna move over to where you are so they can see the other side.
Yep.
So I'm coming around. All right, just so they can see.
Can you see?
Yep. Let me zoom out of it though. There we go.
This is a lot like pottery.
Indeed.
Yo. Okay. And now we'll want to cut the top off.
Just very, very light pressure.
Very gentle. See, look, this is all the icing that comes off.
Wow.
That's it. Little by little. That's it. Okay, so we want to do that smoothie out the top. Okay, so now I want to clean my side. Clean the board, rather. Okay, and now for this one, I'd like to give it a little different finish on the side. This is very popular these days, the vertical lines. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just cutting in to the cake with the angle of the spatula and bringing it up nice and slow.
Nice.
And now we have a little texture. Isn't that nice?
Very.
Yeah, this is very popular nowadays. A lot of people like the old-fashioned rustic look. This is perfect. So, okay, so let's chill this guy.